Good evening, everybody. It's Martinez, the Red Marty Boy, aka Martinez392. Today, I'm here to talk about my experience with CyberPower computers. CyberPower computers, I have used them. I bought a computer, I would say a mid-range PC back in May to do streaming and gaming, and I would say about the first week I started noting issues with the PC, and at that point I pushed it off like it was no big deal. And come around August is when I found out my PC's whole entire motherboard went gone. It just crashed. And honestly, I don't really use my computer for any high intensive things. I play video games and I stream. So I'm not really using this PC to its full capabilities. It's obvious they put a faulty some kind of motherboard. They probably put can't really expectate, but obviously the motherboard they had was obviously not of good quality, because obviously if I had issues some day one of the computer crashing when I was playing video games and live streaming, there's obviously an issue with your PC. And to look at this overall, I paid about $1,200, about $1,300 after taxes and shipping fees and all that good stuff. So at the end of the day, I was $1,300 into this PC. And the sad thing is, I end up having to put more money into this PC. Let's get into that subject. As you know, as I said in August, I found out my computer just stopped working. A message came up on Windows saying something crashed. I forget what it was. It was something that crashed, and I could not get the computer to turn on past the MSI loading screen, which is weird. So I called them. And CyberPower PC said, oh, we think it's a problem with the graphics card. Okay, all right, fine then. And they were willing to ship the graphics card without no problems. They shipped me the graphics card. I shipped back the old one. And come to find out, after having installed the new graphics card, come to find out, it wasn't the graphics card. So we rolled out the graphics card immediately after we put the new graphics card in, and it was the immediate. It was not a problem that happened consistently. You would get the PC to come on once in a while, and sometimes you wouldn't. So it's obviously something that was wrong with the motherboard. We put a brand new motherboard in. I call them. I say, the motherboard is bad. What can you guys do? Can you guys send me a motherboard? They literally told me no. And the only option of me getting the computer repaired was me spending probably around $300 to ship it to them. I'm on the other side of the country. I'm on the East Coast. CyberPower PCs is on the West Coast. So they wanted me to spend over like $300 to ship the computer to them, possibly not see it for a whole entire month. I'm already out of a computer for 2 to 3 weeks already as it is. So just imagine shipping it and paying that $300 and be out of it for another maybe a month. I would say probably. I can't give you that estimate, because one of the jokes of part of the warranty, say quote unquote warranty, don't believe that. I can tell you right now, the chances are the warranty is junk. The only way you're gonna get a warranty is if you pay for the shipping. So that means you have to fork out probably $150 to $200 to $300 to ship this PC, depending on how heavy it is. You're gonna have to fork out that money, and you're the one that's gonna have to pay for it, and they're not gonna pay for it. Even though it was a problem with their system, they're not paying for it. They expect you to pay for it. So what ended up having to do, they would not RMA the motherboard. They would not ship me a motherboard. They wouldn't even let me do anything. So at that point I said, okay. It was going to be probably around $200 to $250 for me to ship it to them. I got a motherboard for around $200 and had it installed. That's it. And the computer has worked ever since. Have never had the issues that I was having before. Everything runs great. And overall, I would say my experience with CyberPower has been okay. I would not say it has been horrible. I'm not trashing CyberPower PCs. I do truly believe they need to improve their warranty. I do know every single company that make PCs have similar warranties and they do similar things. But I believe that, considering this is their problem, considering this is a problem that they had done, they should have paid for the shipping to ship the computer back so they can get it fixed. Because at this point, or at least RMA a motherboard, like the motherboard. Like, you would not RMA a motherboard. Like, the motherboard is not that hard to replace. Anybody can do that. It takes about 10 to 20 minutes to do that. It doesn't take a rocket science to do that. they should have RMA'd the motherboard. So what I end up doing is getting a new motherboard, and then having MSI RMA the motherboard that was broken. So I had to go directly to the manufacturer to RMA the motherboard. That is ridiculous in my opinion, and that is something that should not happen. If I'm spending close to $1,300 for a PC, I expect better service than what I got. They were not the greatest. They had no idea what they were doing. Obviously, I thought at first it was the graphics card, so I actually agreed with them. I said, okay, it's probably the graphics card. So yes, I agree with them. At the end of the day, I thought it was the graphics card. Come to find out, it was something more serious. So at the end of the day, I truly believe, as you can tell, this is the receipt. I bought a computer from them. This is the invoice that I got after buying it. Look, is it a good running PC? Yeah, but it cost me to put out $250 just to get the motherboard and get it installed. That is expensive. That is not something I should have paid for. They say 3-year warranty. Take it for a second there, go down to service where it says 3 years free service plan. Includes labor and lifetime technical support. That is not warranty. That is not 3 years of a service plan. A service plan would pay for the shipping and would pay for the shipping there and back. No, they wanted me to pay for the shipping, which I think is completely ridiculous. If you're building PCs and you want to back your product, you should back your product. And the problem is, the chances are, if they tested this PC before they left the warehouse, chances are they would have found out pretty quickly that this PC wasn't up to standards. They would have found that out right away, and the PC would have never left the building, and they would have figured out what the problem was, because the problem started occurring months before. I'm not trashing CyberPower PCs. I still truly believe they have incredible value. If you're looking for a pre-built system, I would say CyberPower's prices is better. Don't go to Digital Storm. I checked Digital Storm pricing. Digital Storm's pricing is ridiculous. The two places that I have checked and actually looked at it, if you don't want to waste the time building a PC or you're scared, go to CyberPower PC. The chances are you're going to get a decent PC. My chances are what happened to me doesn't happen to everybody. It happened, and I feel like if they had the proper protocols put into place, probably would never happened, and everybody would have been okay, and everything would have been good. But instead, they failed to provide adequate service, and I truly believe that at the end of the day, I didn't get great service, and I didn't get the service I paid for. I don't pay $1,300 for me have to go a couple months later to go replace the motherboard. The good thing they did do is when they did ship me back a graphics card, they gave me a better one. Honestly, I will be honest with you, they gave me a better graphics card. The one I had was one single big fan. While the one I got now is a name brand, MSI. It's LEDs on it and all. The first one didn't have nothing. It was just a plain Jane RTX 2060. The new one they gave me has LEDs, has a better cooling system, it has dual fans. It's overall a better system, an overall better graphics card. Honestly, also I have another thing to pick with them. They didn't even put any fans in the case. The only fan I have is the outtake fan from the CPU cooler. That is ridiculous. And that is something that should definitely be different. There definitely would be a difference. At the end of the day, as I said before, I'm not trying to trash CyberPower PCs. I truly believe when they make their PCs right, they're a decent quality system. And you know, their prices are really, really good. And they really are. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing, as I said before, I think they need to make changes. And you know, they don't actually test the system before they ship it out to the user. In my opinion, that should change. Yes, it takes manpower, but when someone's spending $1,300 to $1,500 on a PC, that should be something that should be expected. Really, you should test the PC instead of quote unquote testing the parts, because it's obvious if you test the motherboard that you sent me, you would know that the motherboard was not going to work. And that's really what I want to. That's my point across. Is you need to improve something there, CyberPower. My email is always left in the description, so if anybody sees this, you guys can always contact me, and we can talk about it, and I probably will talk about it. But again, I'm not trashing CyberPower PC. This is just my personal opinion on my experience and what I went through with them. You know, overall, it was not a good experience, but also it wasn't a horrible experience. It could have went a lot worse, but it did not. But I highly do recommend you to change your policies. Test the systems before you ship them out. That is the most important thing. Most PC builders test their systems. And, you know, the builders, it's not just CyberPower. Every builder don't test their systems before shipping it out. They quote-unquote test the parts before they ship them out, but they actually never test the system, and that's where they're failing. And that's where all the builders are failing. My name is Roberto Martinez with Martinez392. Hope you guys saw my point and saw the point that I was trying to make. And thank you all for watching. My name is Marty Boy, and have a great rest of your evening.